learned from the lesson. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a little, but I still reinvest it. Fear how I feel, then you feel like it's a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down, hold it down, we gon' get it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watch list coming in October 5th, 2020, and the stock market is really going to go crazy. This was a very, very wild week. It started with Friday. President Trump got infected with coronavirus. However, this was a very interesting week. I want to see what happens with the markets. However, we have some economic events, earnings right around the corner, but I will say this next 2 weeks from today or last Friday is a very, very big pivot point, and I think a lot of things are going to change. So we have a lot to talk about. I'm really excited. I got the plays. I got the keys. Everything we're looking at tomorrow as well as this week. It is going to be an exciting one, so I hope you're ready. But let us not delay. You guys know what you need to do. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. It's the first link in the description, and it is pinned in the comments. We better see you there in the morning. It's free $99. It costs you nothing to join. YouTube.com/TheStockMarket. You can post the plays, see the plays, watch the watch list come to life. And yes, when the market gets crazy, we are where you want to be, so I hope you guys are locked in. And the most important thing you need to do, post your watch list below. Let us know what you're looking at. Got any plays, comments, remixes, anything, post them below and source that info. Shout out to Chad. And please do not forget about the random account generator. Every single Monday, we like to take this watch list, the one that you're watching now. We ask that you post a random option play in the comment section below, specific strike, date, expiration, and company, up to $100. And then tomorrow morning, we do a random comment picker, select a play, and randomly buy it. And we like to see the performance if you followed random plays on YouTube. So this is what's happened since the beginning of the year. Pretty interesting. So post a play, and shout out to everybody who has. So right off the bat, this is actually going to be crazy. Again, Trump's health and everything that's happening. I don't want to be dramatic. It's just been a really, really weird weekend. Again, we didn't even see any other news besides this, but you only heard a certain amount of developments. People are going back and forth, and I'm sure you guys see that at the news. I'm sure you guys are even wondering what's going on. You'll be like, well, is it for politics? Is he actually sick? This or that? The fact of the matter is, this is one of those events that has an extreme level of uncertainty inherently embedded within it. I will tell you guys now, moving forward, it is truly going to be a coin toss. When it's up to the coin, I mean, all information aside, it doesn't really matter. It's just meaning it could go both ways and nobody really knows. So that is exciting, worrisome, I mean, all sorts of adjectives, but I hope you guys are paying attention, and that is something we are going to be paying attention to all this week. But 14 days from now, as this develops, they're saying he might get discharged here and there. Again, we will see. But this next 2 weeks, depending on if it leads to a bigger problem with the president or if he gets better, this could really shift tides in many different ways. Again, not to mention all of the things that could be affected. So I'm shooting this before the futures open. We have to see what the futures do. And based on the futures market, that is going to give us an idea of what we're really looking at the beginning of this week and how the market's going to take it. So we will have to see. But like I said, it is a coin toss at this point. But these next 2 weeks are truly, truly, truly going to be pivotal. So we will be watching that. Keep your eyes out for that. I'm sure we will give you guys updates over the weeks as this develops, as it spreads into markets, or even if it doesn't, and we'll see kind of even counterplays from that and how that would even set up. So like I'm saying, it's going to be important, but there is that. And then now there is earnings season right around the corner. So we should start seeing that brew up. However, I'm going to say that the key is going to be the president's health and how that can affect markets, because we saw it a little bit on Friday that him getting it was bad for the markets. But again, you're also seeing stuff with New York, the NFL, and all of that. But it seems like the market was mainly focused on stimulus. So if we see that shift, if his situation deteriorates, gets better, or whatever, we want to see how that is going to be related now, tying this back into the stimulus, the election, and all of that. So there is earnings. The Trump health situation is just kind of a very, very dark cloud over a lot of these different events, so we have to see. But now, this week as well, too, we are going to get the minutes from the Fed, and that is going to be crucial because that is the minutes from last meeting. So if you guys remember, that's when we got a little bit of Powell, and before that was was Jackson Hole, but he might give more clarity to that whole powerful guidance. So minutes don't usually affect the market too much. However, given what was said at the last meeting, we might see something interesting here. So we will see, or at least investors in the market will be looking for that. There is that, and then even now back to the political landscape, you are going to get the first VP debates, Biden versus Kamala Harris. It is going to be an exciting one, but earnings is more exciting. However, we might not see that big of an effect. The first debate didn't really do too much, and there is now some more important things. However, depending on how the situation develops, that debate could be more or less important depending on what happens leading up to that and even after it. So there is a lot. This week really and truly has the potential to be crazy, or it might lead into something wild. We will see. But this is a level of uncertainty we have not seen since the beginning of the year, and I will tell you that. So I hope you're ready. But that is pretty much it. So let us get into the plays. So right off the bat, a few separate plays. I even want to highlight the types of stocks that I want to go over. I even clarified kind of the laggers and leaders. I have them when we get to the platform, but I'm looking for a specific type of play. I want earnings run-ups. However, we are going to be trying to take advantage of the credit spreads again, but I will tell you to be cautious, and I'm going to want to sell credit spreads on certain types of company where the premiums in my favor are now those leaders. So I'm going to show you the types of companies. Two companies I will be watching this week. I think they're going to be important, are kind of closer to the earnings in terms of earnings cycle. DraftKings and Snapchat. They're both, DraftKings is the stronger one. Snapchat's at a key level, even Pinterest as a secondary. But you guys will see when I get to the list there, there's a lot of these leaders that aren't really moving how the SPY is. So that is the first play I'm going to be watching, a DraftKings and Snapchat tomorrow. And I want to see, as far as direction, it depends on what the markets do. I want to see if they go up with the market, if they go up, if the market goes down. I want to see even how they would get impacted on a red or a green day. So watch them. And then finally, the main play I will be watching this week, because I think I will have to be able to watch what happens to kind of interpret it, that level of uncertainty. I'm going to be cautious with the credit spreads. Even the companies I'm looking at, the only thing we can guide to and indefinitely aim at is the fact that we have earnings. So that could be very, very good, and we could just keep focus on that so we don't have to get too caught up in the news. But we'll definitely be wait and see as far as any other plays. But I will be looking at broader, kind of more global plays. One that really caught my attention on Friday, and there's been drama even with Turkey and Armenia, and then all of we saw kind of unfold last week, and there's been even comments there too. But you've been seeing some weird movements. But watch oil. The long-term premiums went up. So if the leaps are up, I'm going to look for the shorter-term premium. So this might be one we'll be able to look at throughout the week or play intermittently. Again, we even have those old SCOs, but I like the oil plays, or I really want to see if anything develops that could impact oil, and that could be kind of a hammer or fuel for the markets just on top of everything else that's happening. You kind of saw how that played out back earlier in the year. There was a lot of bad things happening, but on top of it, there was all of that oil drama. So watch them. As far as everything else, I have a few different plays that I want to show you guys next, but credit spreads, we will see if there is a cuck. The market doesn't move too much, it will benefit us. However, if volatility breaks out, that is going to be the key. So like I'm saying, even in 2 weeks, if there's no real big event leading up to it, there might be a good window to sell credit spreads. But again, watch tutorials, be safe. None of this is a recommendation. Option risk, can't lose on much But as far as everything else, watch USO, watch banks. They are going to be the first set to report. And again, they got some of that positive news on the fact that it wasn't negative from last week. However, we still got to wait for that update on the stress test, but watch them. They're going to be first in the earnings cycle. Watch Apple, of course. I was even looking at them as a gauge, and you could kind of see they're moving a little different. They were a previous leader in the market when in the last few months as we've seen stuff move, but watch them. But now companies like I'm saying, like Snap, DraftKings, even Beyond and Uber, you could just see that the momentum is more in their favor. Uber a little bit less, but then stuff like DraftKings, you could clearly see it. So it's kind of a rotation in a way, or kind of just new winners emerging, and at the same time, money is looking for a place to flow as well too. So keep an eye on those. Those are the companies I want to pay attention to, and I especially want to see how they behave if the market goes down. So watch them. Again, keep an eye on oil and USO. This is a key level. When think about since we first started talking about it at the beginning of the month, it's and ultimately ended up lower and keeps going. So this could be very, very crucial. But watch them. Watch Boeing. They still have those credit spreads. We didn't make too many plays on Friday, but I still have That Boeing credit spread, I believe I break even on it. We've been up and down, but now it's going to turn into a weekly next week, so premium should be helping me out a little bit better, but still going to be holding that play. I'd watch them. I'm just going to be flexible. I think Boeing kind of already had its move off that first one, and the fact it hasn't gone too crazy just yet. That will either cap it out or we'll see, but that's the reason why I'm playing premium. But we still have that credit spread, still have these Qualcomms. These are just at 50%. Might want to get rid of these. These are selling calls, so if the market did kind of go down, we benefit off of that. But then if the market did go down, I should get clapped on these CRM. So we were down a little bit more in the beginning of the day on Friday, but then they kind of leveled out. So we'll see how those play out, but those are all still premium sells that could give us some additional capital this week, but watch all those, but watch Boeing too. I like HD in McDonald's. You guys kind of know the roles that they play, and you could even see them as leaders in the market there, but I think they're like slow moving leaders. I think McDonald's and HD, I feel like they already had their run up, but there is other companies again, like Caterpillar. I really, really like them. They kind of look like Home Depot, but they've benefited off of a similar cycle with everything. So watch them. And then even J&J too. I'm going to be watching a weirder set of companies this week. I want to see how things play out. And then finally, watch the dollar, watch TLT, even gold this week, because gold kind of started to move a little bit last week outside of that range. You want to see where it sets up. But ultimately, the dollar, especially with everything with the politics and what's happening, how the dollar plays, and if you see a spike or not, that could really be a key in all of this. So I hope you're ready. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're hydrated, healthy, ready to go. Make sure you post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining, and I hope you enjoyed your weekend, and I hope you didn't forget that the best is yet to come, baby. So keep the armor on. Look like you're ready to get picked up. Look like you're ready to receive it. It's game time, baby. But the code loves you. I love you. We'll see you in the morning. Let's go.